So my topic was why hire inventors and how to keep them. Just some background, I run digital, I'm Chief Digital Officer at Deutsch LA. We're a 450-person full-service ad and digital agency. About 174 of that 450 is digital. And we've been around for 16 years in Los Angeles, and we're making a pretty rapid and radical transformation from being a really communications-focused agency first to one that is really also now 35% digital and growing. And that number has gone from 5 to 35% over the last 2.5 years. So there's been some really massive change. And we wanted to give context around why we were making this change, and then also the things we've learned, because there's a lot of failure that happens along the way here and a lot of learning. The thing that we think about is, we love ads, and we've had a lot of success with our brands, from the Force, the commercial we did for Volkswagen, Mini Darth, which is the most watched commercial of all time. Those are amazing, but they're like getting lightning in a bottle. And the fact is, it's just not easy. And 46% of American homes now have DVRs. People are skipping through ads. There's new technology like Hopper with Sling that allows people to skip ads entirely. Then you have an AdBlock Plus, which is the most downloaded browser extension online anywhere that has 200 million downloads that lets you block banners from the web. So the reality is, as much as we all love storytelling, we know content is still king, we need to be doing more. We need to be thinking more about new models to help engage with and connect with customers, and really have to embrace more of an invention mindset. And I started a school at University of Colorado a few years ago called Boulder Digital Works. And at the end of our annual board meeting, we met with the students and we asked how many of them wanted to go into advertising, and not one of them raised their hand. A lot of these people want to invent, they want to make stuff, they want to do it quickly and on their terms. You've also seen studies that 7% of all millennials work at Fortune 500s. It's very low. So we've got to do more to be appealing to these young people and these young makers if we want to invent. So what we did is, 6 months ago, we created a new service called The Inventionist. And brands, everyone's talking about invention now, innovation, and everyone knows they need to do it, but it's a very hard thing to wrap your head around, particularly when you have huge business objectives, you're shareholder driven on the client or the brand side. Where does invention, innovation fit? So our model is pretty simple. We do ideas in 5 days, we do prototypes in 45, and products in 6 months. And it's a small strike team that sits within the agency, kind of on the edges. We believe in experimenting on the edges first, getting some wins, proving through success, and then pushing it to the interior of the company. But we're already working with Esurance, an insurance company in the States, and a few other big clients. And what people love about this is that it's a low-risk way to start getting some learnings in the product development area. And so we're doing this at the same time as doing large enterprise redesigns for VW, as well as doing big ads and also doing events. And what we're trying to figure out is how we can all coexist together. That's the next challenge here. You and I were just talking about it before. There is a notion that marketing today and advertising is more team sport than it's always been. There's not just one creative in charge, and many times now there's 3, and there's very disparate types of personalities and skills, and that's the thrust of the talk was about, and really just looking to try and disrupt yourself. We love this quote from Google: "Disrupt yourself before someone comes along and does it to you." And we think about Blockbuster or other businesses that have been digitally disrupted. Mary Meeker in her talk on internet trends or presentations highlighted it. But every industry is being disrupted, and if we don't think advertising is going to get disrupted too, we're really not paying attention. And so our kind of tip, to people, what we talk to clients and agencies alike, is really start finding ways to change the way you work, bring in internet kids, and make your agency appealing to them. And a lot of great stuff will happen. We're just new into this process, but we're seeing a lot of uptick in our business. There's a lot of upside. There's a lot, again, smart failure, and some you get bruised along the way, but we're having a great time.